Please let us try to do it fast. 10 minutes will be enough for that, so that we move on to the other one. These two concepts are very key and they have a lot we need to discuss a bit. So over to you. I leave it upon you now.
Okay, so I
Somebody is
believe now
saying,
we okay.
somebody is saying
Sorry.
we can't hear clearly. Yes. Somebody is saying we can't hear clearly. Can you hear me now?
No, that was 39 minutes ago.
Okay, sawa.
Yes, yes. So by now we already know those people who are very good in doing the research. So the researchers do your thing. At least me and Marianne, we are good in reading. So okay. Yes, so the researchers, Irene, we see you. Joanne has her own style. Soiree, we missed you. Yes, so researchers, please do your thing. Me, I'm ready to read. Okay.
Please repeat the question again. My internet is misbehaving a little bit. So we do which
It's
one?
common forms of contact resistance. Common forms of contact resistance. Okay, Sorry is there. He has done his thing. Thank you very much, Sorry. Okay, so he says in Gestalt theory, resistance to contact, often called boundary disturbances or modulations of contact, refers to the unconscious defense mechanism people use to protect themselves from fully experiencing the present moment or interacting with others. While these behaviors are often developed as coping strategies during childhood, they can become rigid and prevent healthy growth in adulthood.
So I've gotten some.
Okay,
So
just paste it there. Just
okay,
paste it there. Mm.
oh, okay, I'll just be so right. Okay.
Yes, you want to read it yourself,
Yes, I don't
or
like
you
it
want me to
because,
read it?
yeah, it is on my phone and now I'm using the laptop to
Okay,
listen.
okay, then do it. Then do it. Then you read.
So the most common forms of contact resistance in psychology are number one is introjection, taking in others' beliefs, rules, or expectation without examining them. For example, I must always be strong. Number two is projection, attributing one's own feelings or impulses to someone else. For example, feeling angry but insisting others are hostile. Number three is retroflexion, doing to oneself what one wishes to do to others, or vice versa. Example, turning anger inward through self-criticism instead of expressing it. Number four is deflection, avoiding direct contact by distracting or detouring. Example, joking, changing the subject, intellectualizing. The fifth one is confluence, blurring boundaries between self and others. Example, we always agree, I don't know what I want. Desensitization, dulling awareness of sensations or emotion. An example, feeling numb or disconnected during difficult conversations. And lastly, we have withdrawal, pulling away from contact prematurely. Example, shutting down, avoiding eye contact, and leaving conversations. That's it.
Thank you very much, Marianne. Thank you very much. When you talk of withdrawal, I'm sure we all do it. We all do it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me read. Um, this is okay. 1 minute. Okay, so this is from Irene. Yes, okay, from Irene. Okay, common forms of contact resistance. The first one is introjection. I'm sure I'll be repeating the things that Marianne has said, but it will be more clearer, right? Yes. So common forms of contact resistance. The first one is introjection. Definition: accepting other people's beliefs, values, and rules without questioning them or making them one's own. The key idea is I believe it because someone told me. For example, a student chooses a career solely because their parents insist. Someone believes crying is a sign of weakness without examining whether they truly agree. Therapeutic goal of this is help help clients evaluate beliefs and decide which ones genuinely fit their own values. Okay, number two, the other form of contact resistance is projection. Definition is attributing one's own thoughts, feelings, and or motives to another person. The key idea is it's not me, it's you. Okay, examples: a person who is angry accuses everyone else of being hostile. Someone who feels insecure believes others are judging them. The purpose is it reduces anxiety by shifting unwanted feelings onto others. Okay, the other form of contact resistance, the third one is retroflexion. Definition: turning feelings, impulses, or actions that should be directed outward back onto oneself. The key idea is I do to myself what I want to do to someone else. Examples: suppressing anger instead of expressing it, or self-criticism, self-harm, nail biting, or muscle tension resulting from unexpressed emotions. Possible effects: anxiety, depression, physical tension, stress related illnesses. Number four is deflection. Definition: avoiding direct emotional contact through distracting or diversion. Key idea: let's not get too close. Examples: changing the subject when conversation become emotional, using excessive humor to avoid discussing painful experiences, avoiding eye contact, speaking vaguely rather than directly. The purpose is protects against emotional vulnerability. Number five is confluence. Definition is blurring the boundary between oneself and others, making it difficult to distinguish personal needs from those of others. The key idea: we are the same. Examples: always agreeing with others to avoid conflict, having difficulty saying no, feeling responsible for everyone else's happiness. Consequences: loss of individuality, dependence, difficulty making independent decisions. Okay, that's the last one: difficulty making independent decisions. And the last one is egoism, which is isolation. Definition: becoming overly self aware or self monitoring, which interferes with spontaneous contact. The key idea is I'm observing myself instead of experiencing the moment. Examples: constantly analyzing every social interaction, overthinking emotions instead of experiencing them, being over, being excessively concerned about how one appears to others. The result: genuine connections become difficult because a person is focused on self monitoring. Okay, so seems like the Marianne has also shared. Marianne, you've shared the ones that you read, right? Okay, so Millicent also says another one is polarization, which is split experience, dividing experiences into extremes instead of integrating them, seeing things as all good or all bad. For example, I'm either a total success or a complete failure. Okay, so, teacher, that is all we've managed to get. I believe we've used the 10 minutes. So, over to you. Thank you, everyone, for the research. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, job well done. Job well done. I really appreciate. You have been able to come up with very many resistances. They are like defense mechanisms. For me, I had 5, just the ones you have said, and whatever you have read recently was very clear. I can say even the other one was okay, but this one had examples. So you have started with introjection. It's a resistance whereby we agree with what other people say, so that we don't feel accused, we don't feel pain. That's a form of a resistance. If you just say whatever you say is correct, then you are not doing yourself any good. Then the other one you said it is retroflexion and projection. It's where we avoid taking responsibility. There are people who don't like taking responsibility of their own feelings or who they are. And this keeps us powerless to initiate change. If you don't take responsibility, change will not come. And Gestalt is very much interested in people taking responsibility. The other one I heard you talk about retroflexion. It is like, for me, I picked it as blaming ourselves, taking in the feelings inside us. We don't want to show the feelings outward. We keep them into ourselves. And I heard you mention something like depression. Such people can develop depression because they are fearful. They fear directing the feelings toward other people. That is retroflexion. They keep it inside themselves. Remember, introjection is whereby people, they are never themselves, but they are like imitators, they are copycats. Then deflection, what I picked most, and I have used a word here, they don't like facing the real feelings. In fact, according to what I found out, they overuse humor. They overuse humor because they don't want to come into touch with the feelings that they have. They change the topics. You said something like that. That was powerful. They try to change, they deflect attempt. Yeah, they diffuse contact. They change topics. I don't know whether you have been with the people. When you try to talk of a certain topic, they are really changing, or they use a lot of humor so that you forget. And lastly, what I heard, it's a confluence where people are not able to express their true feelings and opinions, and they like staying safe by going along with others, and you shall never know them. And you have never known them. You can stay with a person for very many years, but they blur themselves. They are never known. They don't express themselves, and they are not genuine. They are not into contact into themselves or with themselves. They like being safe. They are never known. There are types of friends that you can stay with for 20 years. And if somebody asks you, how is your friend? I've never really known what type of a friend I have because their true self is really concealed. So they are never into contact with themselves. So for me, I found those 5, but I have found out you have come with 2. You can draw them to the group so that they can also see them. I don't know whether there is anybody with another comment, another input, because that was good work done by everyone. Anybody who wants to add something on those contact resistance? Anyone?
Yes, me.
Yes.
So it's about why contact resistance matters. Number 1, it shapes relationship patterns. It affects therapy progress, and it protects the person, but often at the cost of growth, intimacy, or emotional clarity.
Thank you very much. In fact, Marianne, the resistances, they can really affect our therapy. Because these individuals have masks, they have defenses, they become reluctant. We don't know what they want. So they can really hinder our interaction with them. That's good. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marianne. Anybody else want to comment on that, on those resistances? Polarization, I can see it here, dividing experience into extremes. Instead of integrating them, seeing things as all good and all bad. Example, I'm either a total success or a complete failure. That is polarization, split experiences. That's lack of contact. Powerful. Millicent, that's good. People do not, they are divided. They don't know where they belong. They are neither hot nor cold. They divide themselves and so forth. Thank you. That was also a good one.
Okay, teacher, somebody has added something. Let me check. Somebody has added something on the chat. Oops.
Yes.
What did I do? Just a minute. Let me read it. Okay, it's Millicent. Okay, after the polarization, she has written fantasy as escape from contact, retreating into imagination instead of real interaction. Example, daydreaming instead of addressing a problem directly.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Millicent.
Okay, but then teacher, now I want to just, I don't know if I should, I don't know if I should put it as a question or, but I don't know. But what I'm trying to say, we're talking about these forms of contact resistance when it comes to counseling, as in between a counselor and a client. But then
Yes.
I'm just trying to bring it home now, bring it home in the sense of, I believe I do much of this stuff. I believe I do much about it because there's sometimes where you can use humor. It's just because you just don't want to be vulnerable. But because you understand, no, sometimes you don't just decide to be vulnerable to anyone, right? Yes. So there are scenarios where you'll add humor or whatever, or you withdraw because at that scenario, or maybe the people around or whatever, you just don't want to be vulnerable at that moment. I don't see it as a bad thing.
I think you are correct because we cannot be into contact with everything in life. We are going to get injured. We can even actually break. So, in fact, it's not only in counseling. And I think all of us practice one of these contact to resistances, all of us in one way or the other. Other people, instead of bringing humor, they do evasive, they avoid, they do avoidance. Something they don't want to get hurt, they avoid. So I agree with you. It's not only in therapy, it is everywhere. And even where you are working, because you people are working in places, just try to look at people. They use those resistances a lot. You have some people who will never be themselves. Whatever other people say, that's what they believe in. You have people who will never take responsibility in anything. There are some people you move with in life, you never know their true feelings. There are people who will never tell you their pain. They keep it. Like we have said in diffraction, they keep their pain. No, the ones who keep their pain, they are the retrofraction. They keep their pain inside themselves. So it's not only in counseling, but in our day-to-day lives, we have these people. And so when we meet them or when we fight them, let us know they are putting resistances because they don't want to feel hurt. True feelings are very hurtful. Remember when we talked about the ego sometimes gets overwhelmed. Our brain is so tired, sometimes it doesn't want to think. Because when you are very rational, on the other hand, you can be dysfunctional. Being rational, very rational, can make you dysfunctional. There is in life, not everything will be handled rationally. Some things need to be ignored so that you don't crash. Yes. And that's why we see even most of our leaders, they have defenses. Some may even do some activities that prevent them from having the true feelings and so forth. So whatever you are saying is very correct. Thank you. Now,
Teacher, I could just add something small.
yes. Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah, based on what Rosette has said, as we were all just looking, there's a conclusion that has been said. Like the goal for Gestalt therapy is to bring conscious awareness on how we interrupt contact, allowing ourselves to choose when to shield ourselves and when to fully engage. So we may also be doing it, our clients may be doing it. Now it is just a matter of bringing it to our consciousness that, or the reason why I deflect is because I don't want to deal with it. The reason why
Exactly.
I allow my boundaries to be stepped on is because I don't want to seem indifferent. So it's just bringing
Yes.
an awareness here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. You have picked it very well. Thank you, Catherine. You have picked it very well. Thank you. I can see now the theory is sinking. When we discuss, it sinks. Thank you. Now, over to you again. We have another concept I want you to discuss, being the last concept. It is called psychological disturbance, in bracket, layers of neurosis. Layers of neurosis. So we can do that one within 10 minutes again, so that we are able to pick what are these psychological disturbances in which we call layers of neurosis, so that we see how many layers do we have and how do they move around. Layers of neurosis. When you do the discussion, I'll also explain from my perspective, but layers, they are called layers of neurosis. We can organize ourselves like we have done, then we do it very fast so that we keep our time. Over to you, Rosette, and others. Please organize.
Kindly spell.
Yes?
You spell kindly.
Neurosis? Which one? Psychological disturbances
Layers
or
of,
layers of neurosis? Layers of neurosis. I think neurosis is N-E-U. N-E-U,
What
teacher,
do you
correct me if I'm wrong. N-E-U-R-O-S-I-S.
Yes.
N-E-U-R-O-S-I-S.
Yes, S-I-S.
Yes.
Neurosis. From the
Okay,
neurons.
our researchers, do your thing. Do your thing. The reader is ready.
Yeah, thank you, Marianne and Rosette. Thank you.
Yes.
So I am there. So
Okay, you can proceed.
So the 5 layers of neurosis. Number 1 is the phony layer. This is the surface level where people act in authentic, stereotyped, or role-based ways. For example, examples include small talk, social mask, and games. People play to avoid deeper engagement. It reflects a cliche or fake mode of relating. Number 2 is phobic layer. Here, people begin to sense the real self but avoid it out of fear. They resist awareness of feelings that might cause pain or conflict. This layer involves denial of authentic needs and avoidance of emotional disturbance. Number 3 is impasse layer. Impasse layer. This is the point of feeling stuck, empty, or powerless. People may try to manipulate others or the environment instead of taking responsibility. Pals consider this layer a major source of therapeutic difficulty because the person avoids moving forward. Number 4 is impulsive layer. At this stage, a person confronts feeling of deadness or internal collapse. They begin to face previously suppressed emotions, often feeling inward pressure or impulsion. This is a turning point where the person starts contacting deeper aspects of self. And the 5th one is the explosive layer. This is the final layer. It involves release and authentic expression, grief, anger, joy, or strong emotions. It represents a breakthrough into genuine contact with one real self. Catharsis occurs here, though continued work is needed for a lasting growth. Why these layers matter? Number 1, to regain awareness, reclaim self-support, move from internal independence to authentic autonomy, and lastly, experience the present here and now more fully. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Marianne. Let me just have a quick read for what we got here. This is from Irene. Irene, thank you very much. So, oh, it's a long read actually. Okay, so in Gestalt therapy, psychological disturbances is understood as a disruption in a person's ability to make healthy contact with themselves, others, and the environment. Rather than seeing mental distress as a disease to be removed, Gestalt therapists, they view it as a result of unfinished business, avoidance of authentic experiences, and over-reliance on contact resistance. As people move toward greater self-awareness, they pass through what Frederick, which is Fritz, Perls called the 5 layers of neurosis, sometimes referred to as the layers of psychological disturbance. The term neurosis in this context does not refer to a formal mental disorder as used in older psychiatric classifications. Instead, it describes the different levels of emotional defenses people use to avoid experiencing their true selves. The 5 layers of neurosis, okay? Imagine an onion. The outer layers protect the inside. Similarly, people develop emotional layers to protect themselves from pain, rejection, fear, or disappointment. Healing occurs by gradually peeling away these layers until the authentic self emerges. Layer number 1, the phony layer, the layer of pretense. What is it? This is the outermost layer where people behave according to what they think others expect rather than who they truly are. They wear masks to gain approval or avoid rejection. Characteristics: pretending everything is fine, being overly polite, trying to please everyone, hiding genuine emotions, acting according to social expectations. Example: Mary dislikes her job but smiles every day and tells everyone, "I'm happy, everything is great." Inside, she feels exhausted and miserable. She fears that admitting the truth would make people think she is weak. So, everyday example: a university student hates medicine but studies it because my parents expect me to become a doctor. The student ignores personal interests simply to satisfy others. Why is this a disturbance? The person's behavior is no longer guided by authentic feelings, but by external expectations. Layer number 2, the phobic layer, the layer of fear. What is it? Once the mask begins to crack, fear appears. The person realizes, if I stop pretending, people may reject me. This layer is filled with anxiety. Characteristics: fear of rejection, failure, loneliness, criticism, change, vulnerability. Example: John wants to tell his wife he is unhappy. Instead, he remains silent because he fears conflict. He thinks, if I tell her the truth, she might leave me. Everyday example: someone wants to change careers. Instead, they stay in a miserable job because, what if I fail? Fear prevents growth. Layer number 3, the impasse layer, the stuck layer. What is it? This is often considered the most difficult layer. The old ways no longer work. The new ways have not yet developed. The person feels completely stuck. Characteristics: helplessness, confusion, feeling trapped, dependency, lack of direction. For example, after leaving a toxic relationship, Sarah realizes, I don't know who I am without this person. She feels empty because the relationship defined her identity. Everyday example: a student graduates from university. For years, teachers and parents made decisions. Now nobody tells when, now nobody tells them what to do. They feel lost. Why is this layer important? Many people retreat at this point because the discomfort is intense. Gestalt therapy encourages clients to remain with these feelings instead of escaping them. Growth often begins here. Layer number 4, the impulsive layer, turning energy inward. What is it? Instead of expressing emotions outwardly, people hold them inside. Emotional energy becomes blocked. Characteristic: emotional numbness, depression, loss of motivation, feeling empty, self blame. Example: David was never allowed to express anger as a child. Whenever he feels angry as an adult, he suppresses it. Eventually, the anger turns into depression. Everyday example: someone constantly says, "It's my fault." A useful way to remember the sequence is phony, phobic, impulse, implosive, explosive. Think of it as a journey from pretending to fearing to feeling stuck to holding emotions inside, and finally to authentic emotional release and personal growth. Let's put our hands together for these two people, for Marianne and Irene. Thank you very much for the research, guys. Okay, teacher, over to you. Where's Mwalimu? Mwalimu, over to you. Okay, teacher is not there yet.
Yes, I'm
Yes,
here.
okay,
I'm
teacher,
here.
over
I
to
can
you.
hear. Yeah, thank you. I can hear the discussion is very, very powerful. You are even giving us typical examples, the psychological disturbances. And I heard somebody talk about the funny layer, which is the first one. And this is the one, the stereotypical and inauthentic ways, the way we put on masks, that we don't want people to know that we have problems. We even play games. We put a lot of facades. This phobic layer is because we have the fear. And we want to avoid the emotional pain, like I heard you say. And we avoid unpleasantness of pain. We don't want to feel pain. So we hide. That is the funny layer. The impasse, it is the stage of stuckness. We really get stuck. And we attempt to manipulate the environment because we are very stuck. We don't want people to talk about it. We don't want to hear. We don't want to think. We feel a sense of deadness. Then the impulsive layer, it's where now we start becoming a bit authentic and we allow ourselves to experience our deadness. We don't feel like denying things anymore. We say now we have come to a realization that this is not something to hide. And then finally we have the explosive layer. It's where now we let go our pretenses and we become fully ourselves. We are now authentic people and we can now get our energy back and we are genuine with ourselves. We can even make contact with ourselves very well because we have reached the explosive layer. So those layers of neurosis, sometimes people put them, but the worst is when you stay in a place for a very long time. You can be in the funny layer when you have a stereotyped and inauthentic way. You can even put a facade for some time, but if it is too much, it's not good. Stuckness is not also good when it takes too long. But now when we start growing and becoming aware of ourselves, we can realize our goals as human beings. Thank you for your points. Maybe we can try to relate these layers of neurosis in our day-to-day lives from your end. Anybody, you can try to relate. And maybe how we can use therapy using this concept of the layers of neurosis. Anyone? To practically apply.
Yes, me here.
Yes.
So when I feel sad, sometimes I usually shut down. Yeah, that's an example of me how I deal with when I'm sad. I can decide now I don't want to think about what's making me sad. Now I want to shut down and maybe focus on something else
Mhm.
to forget about the sadness.
So you just do you think that time you are in the phone layer or impasse layer?
I think I'm in the first layer.
We are in the first layer because you don't want to think about it, you don't want to talk about it, you are just there. Thank you, Marianne. To internalize, thank you. When we don't want to talk about anything, we put the phone layer. That is called the phone layer, the first. People can give examples.
I think for the first layer also very big one that comes there is putting on a fake smile.
Yes.
Putting on a fake smile in the first
I can't,
layer.
You first layer. How?
Putting on a fake smile, maybe when you're not happy, or
Yes.
you're not happy with the situation, but you put on a fake smile to put on a facade.
I have just remembered another one. So when you're working in hospitality, when you're working in the hospitality and maybe you woke up and you have a very bad day, guess what? You will be smiling the whole day. The guest thinks that you're always like that, but inside you are dying, but you're smiling, you're being kind, you tell them welcome, thank you for coming, but inside you are dying.
I think I like that. Even Devi has said that, whereby you smile, but it is a fake smile. You are crashing inside. Thank you. That's very powerful. So many of us use the impasse layer very much. Yes.
Teacher,
Ashley?
can I add something? I would add to one similar as Marianne's. Like now, when I'm working with children on Sunday, you don't want to wake up and you are the one who needs to be with them, smiling with them, giving high fives, but you are tired, but you need to do that. Yeah. So the second one is the second layer, which is I'm an introvert and most of my friends are extroverts. So you have to be there. You want to just impress them by talking, but at the end of the day, you feel exhausted because you wanted to impress your friends and entertain them too. Yeah.
Thank you. So many a times we are in these layers. We didn't put the layers very well. Can I say we keep on interchanging these layers, or they can be permanent? Who can actually thrive? Are they permanent or they keep on changing?
They are not permanent. We keep changing. Today you are nice. Tomorrow you are feeling you are so protective. You don't want to share about your issues. Tomorrow and then you're like okay, I was feeling this because of this. So how can I do? How can I react better next time? So I think they keep changing.
Thank you. I also
Teacher,
feel
I also feel they keep changing, and they change according to the surrounding, the people you are with, where you are. I think they change according to many things.
Thank you. So at least we can understand our client. Yes.
Yeah, they keep changing according to the situation. Yeah, they keep changing according to the situation, the status, even to the status you are, and the feelings that you have. You can have some jovial mood. You can say somebody comes and does something wrong to you, and you say, that's just a bypass, because you are in a jovial mood. Yeah, my take.
Thank you. I agree with you. That's very powerful. They keep changing. They are not static. You cannot say these psychological disturbances are static. They keep changing. Sometimes we are so ordinary. We share well. We feel free. Other times we go back to the four layer. Other times we are in the explosive layer. Other times we are in the implosive layer. Other times we can even be in the implosive. We have started discovering ourselves. All of a sudden we go back to the funny. So it is not something that is so static, and therefore it's all a matter of becoming aware. Becoming aware, which level am I in? I feel this time around, I'm really putting pretenses. I think awareness is key. When you are aware where you are, you'll be able to shift. You'll be able to work on ourselves and take personal responsibility. That's what I can say. Otherwise, I really appreciate the way you have tackled them very authentically, very clear. We can understand them better now. Yes.
Teacher, I have something to
Yes.
say. So like, I feel like we can also be stuck on one layer for a very long time. For example,
correct.
For example, you are at work and you know a certain person doesn't like you. And because you when you apply the job, you said teamwork, good communication, rapport with people, you have to keep up with the act. You like him, you say hi to him, but after you saying hi, you know how you're feeling, but you have to do that because it's the environment, it's the work, you have to love everyone. Yeah, I think like for me, there is a person I don't like at all. But you guess what? I am always there with stories. I am always encouraging them. When I come back into my room and I'm like, see this person, he thinks I like him, but anyway, I don't have a choice. Like, you know, that person doesn't say anything good about you, but what you do, you are happy around them. You say hi. Hey, you keep the act, my friend. You act until you come back to your room. You go back to factory, the factory setting.
I'm imagining that, which is we do that, all of us, because we want to fit in certain situations, because there are psychological disturbances. And when you don't do that, sometimes there is no harmony. There is no harmony. Even there are times we keep things in ourselves. We don't want to talk about them. We keep quiet. Not that we are not feeling pain. We are feeling pain, but we don't want to explode. Because sometimes when you explode always, you also becomes dysfunctional. You know, you cannot always be in the explosive layer. And you cannot always be authentic. Sometimes we are so inauthentic because we are human beings. Remember the field theory. The environment keeps on changing, so our perceptions, our thoughts, that is our feelings and behaviors, they keep on changing. And what helps us more to be able to stay well is the organismic self-regulation. Because our field theory, the environment keeps on changing. Many things happen to us. So many disturbances that can force us to be in any area at any time. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that bit of the concepts is done very well, very, very nicely. And where now we have a lot of work will be the techniques, but because we have tomorrow, the goals and the techniques will be done very well. I think when we meet, we shall be able to do the goals very well. We shall be able to do the techniques, and we shall be able also to do maybe the role of the therapist briefly and the therapeutic interventions. All those things we can be able to do. The hardest part was that one. And I hope tomorrow, because most of the things we have been able to understand, and we can be able to make a recap and know that we have these concepts like the energy and blocks to energy, the psychological disturbances, the layers of neurosis, view of human nature, we said that, unfinished business, and here and now. All those are concepts we have actually discussed at length. And I know how, when we come to the goals, we shall be revolving around those concepts. There is nothing much new that will come. In fact, we shall be aligning our messages based on the key concepts we have just outlined. In fact, most of the times we shall be mentioning the awareness and taking responsibility and other things. So I don't think it will be a bit difficult, and we shall be able to internalize it well. And I'm happy because you have been able to clearly at least get somewhere. We are not where we started. At some point, I can see you have been able to conceptualize the theory. You have been able to at least conceptualize a bit. You are talking about it clearly, and that is good. I don't know what we are taking home as we wind up. Maybe we can comment. We call it quits. And anyone can start. Anybody who has something to comment, the insight you have been able to pick, anything.
I think to me, I didn't know about the layers and the layers of neurosis. So
yes,
I think I'm so happy to learn about them because every day when I go through something, I'll be just in come back, pop into the layer. Leo nilikuwa hapa, huyu hata leo sijamsalimia. Leo nilikuwa nasikia nimejifanya sana, nimecheka sana. Leo nasikia sitaki kuongea na watu, nasikia niko happy. So I think that's something that I'll be reflecting on my day to day so that I can get to understand myself better. I think neurosis is a good thing that I've learned today.
Thank you.
I can go next. Something interesting was the energy and the blocks to energy. It has taken me back to what we were saying. We need to the active listening, where you try to inapotea, but when you try to see the verbal and non-verbal, the non-verbal communication. When you are saying they keep closing their eyes, they keep moving their legs, sometimes they don't want to talk or they don't want to hear something. But that one where you said they keep closing their eyes, if we miss that, sometimes we may think it's a natural thing, but actually it could be psychological. So for me, that was very interesting, the energy, the blocks to energy.
Yes, even for your own children, Joan, you'll be looking at them. Why is the energy getting blocked? In fact, is it the legs? Are they able to wake up and walk? Are they able to use their hands? Please let us check where the energy is getting blocked. Because when we are psychologically disturbed, our energy is blocked at some point. So let us try to read those body language because we call them bodily sensations. They will tell you there is a psychological disturbance. When your child keeps on drawing the hands or the legs, they are seated and they keep on opening their mouths and yawning. Sometimes don't interpret it just as a hunger. There could be energy getting lost somewhere. So even our own teenagers, they may not speak, but let us also check where the energy is getting lost. That's powerful. Thank you, Joan.
Okay, I'll go next. Okay, teacher, the same thing that Joan got, it was also my take home, but then it's a take home that has some questions behind it. Because now I'm asking myself, how do we interpret the bodily sensation that we are seeing? Okay, now we are seeing someone is twitching the eye or something like that, but how do we translate, how do we interpret that to be able to interpret it accurately? Will we learn that this means this, or this is connected to this? Because now you've said someone will be twitching the eye, so it has more connection with what they saw. But then how, for the accuracy, now I'm talking about the accurate interpretation of what we are seeing, the bodily sensations that we are seeing.
For example, I can give an example. For example, when they are using their eyes, they could be avoiding some places, looking at even at you as a parent directly. They are refusing to look at you. So it means you are causing some psychological disturbances to them. They may also be avoiding looking at some places or even going there. You tell them and they say, I'm not going there. That one is not about the going, it's about the psychological disturbances. Sometimes you can pick even without them telling you. Other times, you can ask them to tell you what is happening, because nowadays, I can see you are doing some things that are funny. I can give an example, my own son. There was a time, in fact, he used to do some funny things. Even if I didn't know the psychological disturbance, it was a red flag that there is something very serious. I didn't take it kindly. And the following day, we sat down and I did ask him, is there anything wrong? And surely there was. He didn't tell me per se, but I was able to detect, because that behavior was so consistent. I could see him. He is just lying on a seat, and then he is doing some funny behaviors with his hands and eyes. Then I knew something is very wrong. And I was able to interpret, by the way. I was able to interpret because I was connecting it to where he works. So sometimes if you observe those body language and then connect them to maybe the experiences of the person, you can be able to come up with the interpretation. Let me give an example, maybe to make it more clear. Let's say you are married by a military man or a police officer. These are people who are traumatized. And then when this man is sleeping, even if the gun is in the house or what have you, they keep on doing imaginary shooting. What does that one tell you? You interpret there is trauma here. This person is very insecure, traumatized, and it has to be addressed. So those are the things I'm talking about. You read. I think we call them minimal ploms, if I'm not wrong. Is that clear, Rosette?
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher. But by the way, teacher, do you know you're a comedian?
Who?
You.
Why, my dear?
you, you really make me really laugh.
Ati? Come again?
Seriously, you really make me laugh most of the time. Sometimes the things you say, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you're just funny.
Why? Like what? Like what? Example?
No, the way you say whatever you say, it comes out funny. It comes. You could be saying just a general thing, but the way you say it, it comes funny. You see, everybody's laughing. I'm sure they're seeing it the same way.
Thank you for noting that. I am told that I make things look very, very simple and people are happy. Then I'm asking them, how am I saying it? I don't know. I don't know. But many people comment the way you have commented. You have some humor. Do you know that? Sometimes I don't know. What specifically did I say so that you can say that? Or it's the way I say it?
No, right now I've just decided to tell you, but just from day one, as in I was like, this is the vibe that I want. Life is not that serious.
Yes.
I think Rosette is not coming out very well. It is because you have talked of a policeman or an army officer who speaks with a gun. It is in the house. And I think that that's what Rosette is saying.
It's not about the policeman. Unajua teacher ni mfani mpaka from the first day. From the first day you mentioned something about dress code. Let me remind you. From the first day you mentioned that when the therapist, oh sorry, Timothy is still speaking. Okay. You mentioned something funny on the first day, your first day. You said when the therapist, the way the therapist dresses, we were talking about attractiveness. So you're saying the way they're dressing, I thought you wanted to describe baggy. I can't remember the words you used. That thing was funny. I laughed the whole night.
By the way, people tell me that, and actually people tell me that. By the way, they do. So I concur with you. I don't know how I do it, but people are like that. They normally tell me that. You are not wrong. That's Elizabeth. I think I cannot change. I like making things easier and practical. Thank you. Anybody else? Comment? Any other person with a comment?
Teacher, just I forgot you share the email so that I can when I'm done I submit my journal.
It is okay. I will.
And then nowadays you're always late to share the notes. Sometimes we have to remind you. So I think the best thing is when we are just done with class, like 10 minutes later, just share the notes so that you can go through the notes. Sometimes we ask a lot and feel sad.
So tomorrow, immediately we are through, just tell me. I will send them immediately. In fact, Marianne, tomorrow, immediately we are through, tell me. I'll send them there and there. Thank you for reminding me and being authentic. You are now you are in the impulsive area. There you are in the yes. Thank you. When you are told what there is, it is not good to take sides. I really get that. And it's not that I don't have them. They are here, only I forget. So please insist tomorrow. Before we leave, I forward them. Thank you. He who hates correction is stupid. Anybody else with a comment? Evening to you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's very powerful. We also appreciate your concentration and your picking a lot and also owning them. You have been able to apply those concepts very well into your life. That's powerful. And in fact, that's what we need. These theories were done by people, but when we try to bring them to ourselves and interpret them and apply them, I think we become better scorers, not only scorers, we become people who are experiential. We are not only reading what other people are saying, but we are trying to internalize and see how they affect our lives. Thank you very much, Dixon, for that. Appreciate.
I can just speak.
Yes, Catherine.
Something small that is far from, okay, it's not what we have learned today. It is something that maybe from the onset of this class. So today, my day, I hoped I would reach home on time to say how my day was, but I didn't get that time. So please allow me to share. Today, I had, I didn't plan for it, but there's a colleague who passed on. and the wife came, and a friend reached out to me to just go and be with the colleague's wife. So today I found myself having to go and introduce myself to someone that I've never met and just stand with them there as they received or they went to check on their husband, and it was very emotional. Now I remembered the lessons that I know we have not yet done grief, but even when we keep talking, sometimes you don't need to talk, you just need to be there and allow them to express all the emotions that they would want to. Give me, you know, like that first-hand opportunity to allow them and say yes, if they are shouting, if they are screaming, whatever the emotion that they feel, you allow them to be. And you remember when Rosette one day asked, you can find yourself crying even when you're watching movies. And yes, you want to be strong, but you can't help but shed a tear here and there. But what I carried home with me, or after spending time, and then after that, we settled, allowed her to still talk until she was calmer, until they now went home. So during that entire period, it gave me an opportunity to just be there. And I like that the lessons that we have learned about empathy, about being present, saying even those, what did we call I hear you, you know, I understand it, you know, you allow them, I got to use those ones.
Yes.
And maybe just teach her now that we're here, because she came in preparation to take the children to go and see their father tomorrow. And because he had been unwell, his face seems a bit different. I told her it is important, don't be the only one to tell the children. Allow a counselor to first walk with the children in anticipation on what to expect, because you know they would want to go in there thinking they will see their dad in the way they know him, but kumbe he's not that way, because the lady kept saying this is not his face, but these are, you know, how
Yes.
do you
It's okay. It's okay.
yeah.
How? You asking a question?
Okay, I told her, she said, you know, I need to counsel the children, but I told her, please talk to a counselor so that the counselor can give you the right words to the children, because you might think you have understood it well, but it would be good to also have from a person who is an expert.
How old are the children?
11 and 13.
Those are still very young.
Yes.
They had seen their father sick?
I think so, but not to the extent. I think he's been in ICU for close to a month.
A month, eh?
Yeah.
And those children didn't know the father is in ICU, because she should have gone to visit the husband with them one time. Important.
Maybe that may not have happened. Yeah. There was
actually teacher, mostly at the ICU they don't allow the children to go to the ICU. Yeah, mostly.
And the hospital itself, just the hospital promises, and then telling them wherever your dad is, you cannot go, stay here, your dad is sick. Even going there in the hospital and not getting into the ICU, but the hospital promises where the father is, and being told at your age you cannot go to see him where he is. None of that propaganda.
They can be around to the hospital premises, but to the wards, the ICU wards, they are not allowed.
Yes. Now, what are we going to tell Catherine? Because these children do not know they don't know their father is normal. That's what you are saying, Catherine. Eh?
Now they know, they were informed. So now they are being brought to come and view before they journey home. Yeah, I think it's equally good. I think they view him before he's put, just to have that closure also, just them as a family before they go to the mass.
According to me, what you do to such children, because much talking may not help a lot. In fact, it is just being there for the children, allow them to cry, just being there with them. Because I saw another boy, he was in grade 8. Grade 8 is around 14, let's say 14 there. He is the firstborn. The mom passed on. In fact, when people are holding him, he was just saying, Mom cannot leave me, Mom cannot leave me. And now those who were there were telling him, keep quiet, keep quiet. I told him that the aunt did not impress me, although I left, when they have their aunties and you are just a distant relative, you don't intervene. I was telling them, let him sit here, let him just say whatever he wants to say to the mom. Najua huo ni mchanga unawekwa. But they were trying like blocking and saying, let him go in the house and sleep. Then I was telling them, no, let him stay here up to the very end. But they refused and took him into the house when the mother was not completely buried. So what should happen is just support the children. Be there for them. Start where they are. On their side, let them express. And if it is possible, maybe to talk to your father, he is normal. Talk to him. What would you want to tell your father? Despite the age, they can say something. Even if they say dad, bye, that one is very important. There is nothing much you can say there apart from being very supportive and being where the children are. Maybe later on, after they have buried, those children can be supported according to how they feel. Yes. But for now, let them be supported, go to the morgue, just see their dad. It's painful, it's not easy, but let them be taken by people who can understand and support them as they view the body.
Teacher, I have an input on the same.
Yes.
So when our father died, I was only 13 years old. So the thing that people don't understand is to allow people to grieve the way they want. Number two, support. Right now, many things is going to come out. This family wants this. People are very selfish. And how I wish and I pray to God that those people find the best supporting individuals around them. Because what we lacked was support. And let me tell you something, it really changed our lives, the way we see things, the way we see people. Like, I really pray that God is going to give them the right people this moment. Because you see, an adolescent stage, it's a very, very, very delicate stage, losing a father. Very delicate. How I wish, how I could even share my story, and how it's very difficult for my mom to raise 5 boys without a man, and you don't have support even from male figures. It's very, very difficult. So how I pray that may God be with them, may God give them the right people this time, because saizi ndio wenye wanajua kupigana ndio wanatokanga. Watu wenye wako wanaona mnakuja sijui wanataka I just pray that may God give them the right people to surround them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a good input. The right people. Have you heard, Catherine? The right people. They be supported. And also the mother to be equipped. The mother can be equipped a lot to start with her children, to start for their rights, and so forth. That one is very powerful. Thank you, Marianne. Somebody wanted to say something. Ni Timothy.
Yes, I think Mwalimu, you have just said it. It's very important between now and the value date. There can be arrangements to take those children to off just to see their dad, so that they can mourn enough before the value date. It's very important because you have been involved in those values and you see how children cry, how then when you try to find out what happened, is that they have never known where. When somebody is in the morgue, you put into your mind that this person is still there. You can wake up, but it's also good to take children there just to feel and mourn their dad before the burial date. That's very important.
Thank you very much. That's powerful. True. In fact, there is another friend of mine. The children are not very young, but because the children were very close to the dad, those are adults, young adults. So what they used to do, they used to go and see their dad every day in the morgue, Papa Montezuma. They used to go every day. And the mother said, I will not refuse them. They used to, until the father was buried. We are not saying this can be done to these very young children, but then, as we are saying, let them go and see the dad in the morgue, so that does not become like now a drama when value is there. Even if they can be taken to, even they can be asked after the first visit, would you want to go and see your dad again where they are kept? But knowing that your dad is not waking up, they are kept there awaiting burial. When they go home, let them be asked again. If they say yes, let them be taken. Let them mourn their father. That would be my take.
I have an input.
Yes, Joan.
Catherine has mentioned about the physical appearance of the father. I had a similar experience when my grandfather passed on. He was very sick, but had not seen him for a while. But he changed drastically, and the image I saw during the burial was completely different. And that is the image that has stayed with me since we buried him. And now I'm thinking these are children, and there's something Catherine was asking. Is there something the mother should tell them to prepare them that the father they are going to see is not, is probably not what they expect? Because I imagine that kind of image, or let me just call it trauma for lack of another word, that image that will remain with them, should the mother or someone prepare them before they go and view the body?
Catherine, what has made that man change that much until he cannot be recognized?
From what I picked, there was retention of fluid. So the face is a bit swollen.
Oh.
Yeah. And because he was undergoing chemotherapy, so the hair had started to fall off. And from the photos that I was shown earlier or later on, he is someone who used to keep hair. So even the mother requested if they could get some hair just to place it on the head to cover where the hair had fallen. Yeah, and I think maybe just to do some brushing up of the face so that he looks better in terms of even how the appearance.
I get you. I think they can try to do something for the sake of those children so that they see something similar to what there was.
Yes.
So that we avoid that psychological disturbance. In fact, it's not easy. These are children who are big. They are not very small. So that image can stay until they are very big. Nevertheless, let them see the father. Maybe something small can be done to ensure that at least there is similarity so that they don't see like it is somebody else since they are children. But still, such children, when they go there, maybe there is something they recognize. If they say this is not my father, they can even be shown the legs. They say the hearts. Can they miss to know the hearts of the father?
No, in fact, now that you've mentioned that, actually, when we went with the wife, she said she actually viewed the legs and really said, yeah, the legs is, these are those legs, these are the hands.
Yes, yes.
She could acknowledge.
Yes. So if the face is not working, ask, this is your father. It's only that when people die sometimes and they have been sick, they change, but check if this is your father. Can you recognize the hearts? Can you recognize that? Because a child cannot miss to know the parent. A child cannot miss. Children are very sharp. So they can check the hearts and the legs. If anything else does not work for them. You know some of these things, Catherine, because they are realities of life. There is no point of hiding anything. These are realities. The mother cannot change. It is also very painful to that woman, very painful, very. I'm imagining what she is going through. It's very painful. And because there is nothing she can do, let also children experience that pain so that they also understand. Because if they don't experience the pain now, it will affect them psychologically later in life when they are too big. So, however the state is, be strong for yourselves, including you. Even when you are supporting those children, be strong for yourself, support them, because it does not mean because you are supporting them, you are the strongest. It's because there has to be people who are to support people at their very point of need. Remember, you are also a wounded healer. You are also wounded, but you are a healer. A doctor does not treat because he is completely out of an ailment. They are also sick. They could be more sick than their patients, but they still treat. So you are not there because you are the strongest person, but you are there because you will support them. You'll be rationally present. Allow yourself to have what we call emphatic understanding. The emotions are there, but because you are the strongest person, try to be strong for yourself and also for those people. That's what I can say. Because when it comes to death, we can all break, but we have to be strong for others so that they feel life still has some sense. Yes, that's what I can say.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you even for sharing. Thank you. That was very nice. Thank you for sharing. It's not easy for you. The family is afraid. They are afraid.
Yeah, colleagues and then a friend. So in the middle of all that, I was.
Who is the colleague now? Who is the colleague?
Actually, both are colleagues. I didn't know.
Okay.
The deceased and the lady. So
it is not easy for you. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Carry the burden because even Jesus wept.
Yes, he
and
did.
He was God. See, Jesus wept. We weep. We also weep.
Yes.
So you also grieve with them. Because Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says there is time for everything, and walk with that lady. God will give you the strength.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you others for giving. Marianne has given a very touching story also. Thank you for sharing. People break people, particularly young children, and sometimes when they lose the father figure, particularly when they are very young, people look down upon people. But Marianne, that has not stopped you to become whom God wanted you to become. It has not even stopped you from where you are. You told me you are not near.
Yes,
So,
teacher.
Yes, it has not stopped you to be who you are. In fact, it didn't define you. That rejection, that drawing you away, it has not stopped you to become. You are still you are. And don't dwell on the past because it can affect your present functioning. Take care, help your mother, love your siblings, and wherever you are. Nobody is perfect. We have dents. So, in fact, we are all dysfunctional. We come from homes where maybe some of us were rejected. Some of us were not seen as if they could be anything. But that one did not define you. you defined yourself in a different way. So let's keep going. Gestalt has told us the present is very important. Let us use it to change our lives. As much as the past is important and it makes the present becomes powerful, let us use our present very well so that we can be able to beat. Even Catherine tell that lady, she's alive. The children, remind her, you are alive. Be strong for yourself. It's not easy, but be strong for yourself, and particularly for these children, and she will make it. She will really make it. People have made it. She will make it.
Yes.
Sure. Sure.
Yes.
Last thing I wanted to share is children are different. So the fact that I was able like to pick up the pieces and move forward, like you find like some of my brothers have never, they are still stuck. They are still in that bubble. So I know it is not going to be easy for this lady to raise the kids alone. And each and every child should be given an opportunity to grieve in their own ways, so long as you're giving them support and directing them. It's not easy because kids are different. I am very different from my family members. So others are still there. They have not yet collected the pieces, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, we grieve differently. I agree with you. Yes. So, Catherine, you try. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Mariano. So thank you for others. It's heading to 10. Can we cross now and say the grace?
Yes.
The grace of our
Of
Lord Jesus Christ,
and
and the love of God,
the
and the
fellowship of the
fellowship
Holy
of the Holy
Spirit
Spirit
with us
be with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen.
Shalom.
Bye,
Shalom.
shalom. Bye.
Shalom. Bye. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye. Take care.